Now, way back, over 10 years ago, yet super surely, mega tax paying most of us, we can all still vividly recall the hoopla, hysterics and hullabaloo over whether everybody everywhere would still have a bank, or bank account, or any money left in there. Of course, I'm talking about the '08 financial crisis, CDO, CDS, abetting subprime shenanigans, impactico imperiling, befalling banking, finance, and also humbling economics, that majority never foresaw, along with once hallowed institutions, in banking, finance, mortgaging, nor just here, but world over. Many collapsed, and others were about to, unless governments, on behalf of inflaming angry voting taxpayers, being told, having no choice, to bail out banker blameworthy, having caused the fiasco amongst others, or else there risk everyone, into revisiting the Great Depression, mega marring, the 1930s. That wiped out myriad livelihoods, made homeless, jobless, penniless, queuing hungry, near enough lingered on near-lasting, depressing decade, so bad enough then. And nor forgot by governments in '08, who despite angering into indebting taxpayers, deficit deepened, to decidedly bail out backstop guarantee whatever, to rescuing so many banks. And over that and very much else, over what went on way back then, to now 10 years on. Being now proposed, via reimagined robotizing, politicians, bankers, and especially economists. All in all, into sci-fi movie. Envisaged via author, now publishing, first part of Yaggle Yoogle screenplay series, toward perchance now, finding out, that if enough readership buy into it, may very well indicate, movie can be made, compellingly attempting, exploring myriad complex econo arguments, through unfurling story, especially through John Maynard Keynes, Friedrich von Hayek, and Milton Friedman. Powerful economic thinkers, storyline brought back to life, revived live along with present day joined, with their prominent followers, along with politicians, bankers, media, and protesting public. From flesh and blood human, reimagined translated, into humo-mechanic wacky world, especially exploring above all else economics, when storylines shown how vital, affecting everyday everyone, from taxpayers to savers to future pensioners, being now invited, by dynamic storytelling, allying inventive language, character, and much else, designed to maybe enabling a mass audience judge between conflicting econo arguments. Cyberbot robotized played out, through the unfurling events of 10 years ago, searing storyline repackaged designed, to presenting indeed discussing, differing economic theory, inviting audience bottom-up to decide or judge, what ought economica do then now and futures ahead, rather than top-down told decided via a far too few, when economic theory being shown too important. Especially after mainstream economic theory failed so badly in '08. Deserving now entertaining a mass consumption, even educated, over the economic choices or arguments available, which are not always wider heard, or fully ventilated. Storyline explored via explosive sci-fi, not through lasers, but by far too many econo theory exploded found amiss. When house prices imploded in '08, turning the boom into bust. When the subprime risk was super supposedly modeled away, until found far from it when house values collapsed. Backwash bedeviling banks imperiling financial system entirety. And so, if enough enjoy this new take on exploring the '08 financial crisis and economic theory, starring politicians, bankers, media, and economists, then maybe one day see them reimagined on the big screen. Availing cyberboltery, humo-mechanized super shiny, why so bank metal, and albeit right now maybe in no danger delighted or not, of starring in a movie. But if enough readers buy into this extraordinary or admittedly unlikely prospect, especially turning many a top economist into robotized movie stars for discussing economics. And since in so many words, many competing economists accuse each other's theory of being unintended science fiction, then perhaps if asked they may agree that now be the time to be in one, turbocharged, toward widening, popularizing discourse about economics, that we can all agree affects everyday everyone, having to partake within the economy. For after various banking, finance, Wall Street-type movies, is it not high time 10 years on, to now in-depth film discuss economic theory, and when already, being Keynes versus Hayek rapped about, being super surely, one step away from the final frontier, into the big screen film, which dynamically arrays, inventively presents the competing econo arguments, among Keynes, Hayek, and Milton, and their respective followers, enabling the film, inviting audience to decide indeed judge among them, over what we ought to economically do now and futures, rather than having Govell preside and decide to choose for us. For as Milton once famously said, the economy is simply just too important to be left to economists alone, which this series attempts to answer, attempting widening popularizing economic discourse, made entertaining, perchance also enlighten a mass over the importance of economic theory, impacting everyday livelihoods, who should be made more aware about the choices made on their behalf for good or bad. For perhaps, however absurd this Yaggle Yoogle series sounds, it may come to pass in years ahead to be made film, if it wins enough readership. For stranger things have already happened, not to now assume this will never happen. The first part of the series, Yaggle Yoogle Yankeedoodle Part 1 Abridged, is available in unillustrated and various illustrated versions, with the plenty pictures which are like those already shown here, albeit impressionistically vividly imagine what everything may look like if ever filmed.